Greetings, welcome back to CS275 Database Development. This lesson is complex queries. So in this case, we're going to go over a couple concepts, a subquery, and then the first basic concept of bringing two tables together, right? So again, as I mentioned last lesson, these are going to be more complex things that you would do as a database administrator. And then it's also really showing you the power, this one's starting to show you the power of having these relational databases. So far, we haven't really explored that concept too much, but we did talk about that at the very beginning where you can take these two tables. Next lesson, we're going to get a lot more into that, but this does kind of start with that concept of having two different queries. So, our objective is to understand how these are built and then have you actually create a union between two different tables. This first topic is the subqueries, and in this case you can select all the stuff where, and there's more keywords. We're going to use the in one, but as you do research there's other words you can do this with, but we're going to use in and basically say, hey, we only want customers where their country is one of these three. All right. Now, again, that is a complex query if you wanted just to write that for programming or that's what your employer wants. But you could also, that's not really the subquery yet, right? That's hard coding it. The next one actually shows, hey, we want to select only that we actually have suppliers, right? So if we don't have a supplier in their country, we don't want to see customers unless they have that supplier. And again, we'll use some examples from our databases that we're using in a second, but again, this is a query, and this is what they're talking about, subquery. Now, again, notice it is in the where clause, so we're getting a little bit more complicated, but it is looking at two different tables, our customer table and our suppliers table, right? And we're trying to see how they relate to each other. The next one is unions, so we're going to kind of like join these together. Now, I say join because that's what it's kind of doing. However, join is a specific keyword that we'll learn about next. So we are doing a union. But again, we want to get city from customers and city from suppliers. All right, so we want to see where our customers and suppliers are. So let's go ahead and demo this real quick. I'm going to do a couple of things first. So I already have the Doge table, and I'm going to select the users table so we can kind of look at what we have here as a reminder. So when we run these commands, because we're going to join these two tables, right? I'm not using the word join, but we're going to work with these two tables together. So one thing you'll notice, we have the ID of the user and then we have the owner ID, right? So this is the power of that relational database, right? John is ID 1, so he owns No Bad Dog and No Junior, right? That is ID 1, correlates to him. And then owner 4 is John Wick, right? And John Wick's dog was Daisy. So we're going to kind of look through some of these examples. Now, they don't necessarily, in all cases, that these examples make perfect sense of why we're doing it. But again, do realize that these are the two tables. So when you pause here, look at those a little bit longer. But here's what we're going to do. Select star from users. So that's all of this, right? That's the thing. Where ID, right? ID is in select owner ID, right? So we're selecting owner ID. So all we have is 1 and 4, right? That's what this is going to return, 1 and 4. So 1, this guy is in there. 2 is not in 1 and 4. 3 is not 1 and 4. 4 is in 1 and 4. So when we run this, it's only going to return ID 1 and 4 because those are the only two of these who own dogs, right? That is what this is stating. And going back to the last couple lessons, knowing when to do this is what makes the database administrator make so much money. So when you're looking at this and understanding this, this is where you get practice. You'll get practice in the lessons that we're doing. But this is the power, starting to see the power of these relational database. All right, the last example we're going to do is the union. So let me go ahead and paste that in there for us. And talk about it. So select age divided by 7. Remember, that's how we did the dog age, as age, from users. So that is the user column. We're selecting the age divided by 7. And then we are going to union select age from Doge, order by age. All right. So we're going to get this age and get all those ages. But in this, now we could literally just do that. However, I want to compare their ages to dogs' ages, so I'm going to convert. But I could just select age from users and then see dog ages, human ages. But I'm going to convert in this case. So let's go ahead and run this. Make sure I'm right. There we go. All right, so all the ones you see, 1.0, 3.0, those are the dog ages, right? Those are the dog ages, 1, 3, and 7. So 1, 3, and 7 are the dog ages. All the ones that have actual decimal places are these divided by 7. So 4.7, 4.8. And I ordered by age, right? So I ordered it by age, so that's why it's in that order, right? But we can see that I've combined, right? These three numbers, 1, 3, and 7, are from this table. And then all the other numbers are from this table. So I've actually combined quite a few concepts in this one thing. The age divided by 7 as age was from a few lessons before, but union is what we're talking about, and that's what this did, right? It added them together. I had the order by, again, previous lessons. So this is a great example of combining a lot of the concepts that we've learned in order to get what you're asking for, right? That is kind of the point of these last few lessons and our next lesson. We have one more lesson on actual querying, and then we're going to move on to some other database concepts. So with that, that's all I have for this lesson. I will see you next lesson.